Good morning, good people. It's been a minute. Decided to make a video this morning on my trek to a couple of appointments. I have an eye doctor appointment this morning at 8 a.m. It's currently 7:30. And I have a foot doctor appointment at 11 o'clock. So, and they're right down the street, right near each other. So it's kind of cool. Ride my bike. Anyhow, it's kind of cool. This is Thursday, April the 3rd. And yeah, it's got back down to the low 40s. Right now it's 42 degrees. So I'm dressed appropriately. Yeah, I'm still an LA boy. Anyhow, I'm calling. I'm doing probably going to do a series leading up to and after the fact of my upcoming full knee replacement surgery. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do a documentary on that whole process and carry everybody along with me. So anyway, I'll just start off with the whole background situation. Some 25 years ago now, I was involved in a car accident. I was rear-ended by a big truck. These trucks that have the cherry pickers on them. You know, the ones that have the what do you call them? The little cage thing that lifts a person all the way up to the telephone pole or whatever, you know. So it's called a cherry picker. That's what I call them anyway. So one of those suckers ran in the back of me. I was at a dead stop and they weren't paying attention and probably hit me about, well, they probably hit their brakes 5 feet or 10 feet before they saw me at a dead stop. And bottom line was, luckily I was in a big SUV, a Ford Explorer. And, but I was significantly shook up. I had 3 vertebrae in my neck and 5 vertebrae in my back. There were, one set was herniated, the other one was bulging. So I don't remember the difference between the two. I mean, I don't remember which had which, but those were the 2 different sets. And then I also had torn meniscus in my right knee at the time, because I had my foot on the brake, and the force and everything just hyperextended my knee and did some things. So I had to have arthroscopic surgery on my knee to repair to shave away the torn meniscus, I think that's what it was, and had to go through a big old recovery process. And what happened was during that recovery process, I was overcompensating with my left leg and actually had a fall. I tripped over one of those parking stops at my office at the time. So it was like I just somehow tripped over it and landed right on my left knee. The bottom line is I ended up having some significant damage in my left knee and had to have the same surgery on my left knee months after I had my first knee, my right knee. So I had both knees worked on, surgery, arthroscopic surgery, and went along quite a ways, quite a few years with that. I didn't do anything to my back or my neck at the time. Just had the physical therapy and massage. I had limited motion with my neck, and my back had some flare-ups from time to time, but I found that a good series of exercises just completely put my back issues at bay. So that was kind of cool. But anyway, you fast forward some 20 years, and in March of 2022, I started having the signs of numbness occur on my left thumb, the tip of my left thumb. And then from there, the next day I started being more numb further down the thumb to the first joint. And then the next day it was further down that same thumb and started with the index finger on my left hand, the tip of the index finger. And then the next day it was going further down that index finger and further down my thumb, and then started the tip of the middle finger. So every single day it was progressing with more and more numbness, and so I was losing my feelings in those areas, and I was getting worried to the point that by the time it got to my whole left hand, I started having the tip of my right thumb and then my right index finger started progressing. Every single day was a new progression of the numbness that was occurring. And ironically, simultaneously while I was going through that, or just before I was going through that, I had been chopping down some trees that were noted as being poisonous, Orlander trees. I was told, anyway, it's a long story behind that, but nonetheless, they're supposed to be very poisonous to animals as well as human beings. Turn this up a little bit. I'm going up a bit of a slope here. Get some more pedal assist. Help out. Okay. And so I actually thought that the numbness that I was experiencing in my fingers and then hand and progressing was due to my exposure to those Orlander trees. And that was my self-prognosis. And start trying to learn about the different things, and they're quite poisonous actually. They said that even the fumes of them, if you burn them and inhale them, they can be quite poisonous to your health. So I don't know why, but they're abundant, beautiful flowering trees. I just didn't realize that they were that poisonous until a friend of mine pointed it out to me. Anyhow, so I was under the assumption that that was my issue and trying to find things to combat that. And let me back up a little bit. I had been living in Los Angeles all the way up until February, the beginning of February. And I had my health care through a provider, Kaiser Permanente, which was located in Southern California, but they were not located where I was moving to, which is Las Vegas. So I had to literally change my healthcare provider, and was in the process of doing just that when all this occurred, because it's in March. So I just terminated my medical in February and hadn't picked up a new carrier. I was just like in between all this stuff. So it was the worst time in the world to have a health issue, was not having insurance at the time. So bottom line, I was putting it off until I could try to really get some health insurance in place, because I didn't know what I was dealing with. And so anyhow, it took quite a while for me to get that going. Get up here and get out of this guy's way. We try to make this light. Didn't make the light. Oh, shoot. Gotta wait for the next light. Oh, well. Waiting for insurance to kick in and get my official evaluation. But I did get to the point where I just had to kind of check things out. So I literally went to urgent care, an urgent care facility, and said I would just at least try to find out what's going on. And they went through and they told me that the symptoms I was having didn't sound like it was poisonous. It was probably something else, and so they wanted me to go through a whole barrage of tests and things like that. And again, I didn't have insurance, so I, just took their word on it. They did this little blood test, and everything came back after the fact that there was nothing that was really that they could discover that was causing that type of issue. So anyhow, sometime it wasn't until the beginning of May, it was the very beginning of May, that I think I finally got my insurance in place. Because I was moving from a different state, from California to Nevada. So anyway, it was a very confusing time for me, and I was trying to do it all on my own, and I didn't do it as appropriately as possible. But I was trying to get my Nevada ID in place so I could file for Nevada insurance and all kind of, it was just bizarre. And I put it all on me from being ignorant. Anyway, bottom line is I finally got insurance sometime in May. And by that time, I was literally just, I was using a cane to walk because I went from being, before this thing happened, I went from being what I call myself Hercules / Superman, where I was able to chop down all those Orlando trees and let me go ahead and get out of this guy's way. So I chopped down like 5 groves of these Orlando trees. And then I climbed up a ladder about 20, 25 feet high and trimmed up 2 big, huge palm trees. These humongous palm trees I have in my backyard in the pool area. And so I did all that before I started experiencing those problems. And I had to haul all that debris and materials to about 250, 300 feet to the front. And I ended up filling 5 dumpster loads of the trees. So that gives you kind of an idea of the quantity. And I did all that by myself in a matter of a week. So I was really feeling fit, and I was exercising every single day. I was doing 100 sit-ups a day, 50 burpees, 50 push-ups. I mean, I was working out. I felt so engaged in my physical fitness and everything right up to that time. And I went from that in March down to May. Where I couldn't even touch my toes. I couldn't do any squats. Then I found myself not stumbling, but out of balance. And had to resort to a cane just to get around because I was so imbalanced and weak and fatigued. So I really made a downturn in a very short period of time. So by the time I ended up getting my insurance, which was in May, the day I was awarded my insurance, I got in my car, drove myself to the hospital, to the ER, and checked myself in. And I had to stumble in there on a cane just to get in there, and then they put me in a wheelchair. So I had degraded to that extent. And so I was in the hospital for a day and a half, 2 days, and they were doing a whole barrage of tests to try to determine what was going on with me. And hold on 1 second, get my signals in place. Gotta navigate through this real quick. Let me need to bring up my GPS too. I want to do that. It wants me to go a certain way. I don't want to go the way it's telling me to go. I'll bypass that. Anyway, so I had driven myself to the hospital, ER, and checked myself in. And they had me there for a couple of days trying to figure out what was going on, and did MRIs and CAT scans and x-rays and all kind of stuff, trying to figure out what was causing my loss of strength and fatigue. I had no pain, by the way, through this whole process. Zero pain, just numbness and loss of strength. And sorry, I'm getting my navigation instructions in my ears, so I'm pausing for that kind of stuff. But anyway, the x-rays and things start coming back, and I know that the surgeon came in and explained to me that he had reviewed my charts, and he didn't think that there was anything that he could. He saw my issues with my my neck and my back. He could see those, and first he came and said that he couldn't. There's nothing that he could do to help out. And then about 6 hours later, he came back and says he had another look and realized that it was something he could do. And he explained that I had degenerative arthritic tissue in my, between my vertebrae 3, 4, and 5 in my neck. And that he would be able to do something to go in there and get rid of that. And he said it was touching my spine. It wasn't on my, it was right on my spine. That was causing the paralysis that I was experiencing. I also said that if I didn't do it, and it was very highly likely that I was going to have continued paralysis in different areas, and to the point I might be completely paralyzed if they didn't do something about it. So I opted to go ahead and have surgery where they fused vertebrae 4, 5, and 6 and put in some non-metallic material in my neck to eliminate all that. So that's what I did in May of 2022. And from that, I was in the hospital for 7 weeks. And going through rehab. And this was supposed to have been a very basic procedure that he was doing. But, you know, just like any surgery, nothing's guaranteed, etc. So most people do it as an outpatient. And in my case, I was told since I was at the hospital, I'm just going to do it while I was there instead of an outpatient type of situation. But nonetheless, it turned out to be a lot longer than they ever had suggested to me. And that I was literally in the hospital for 7 weeks going through this process. So. And so fast forward from May 2022 to pretty much right now. That's kind of my situation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my story for right now and pick it back up a little later. Because I'm at my destination at my eye doctor's appointment, and I'll talk about the rest of my medical history and things. So anyway, that's it for now. See you in a bit. Hello again. Just leaving my eye doctor's appointment and heading over to my foot doctor's appointment today. A lot of activities going on in one day, but it's good getting out and getting on the road. Making a left turn here. Okay. What are you honking your horn for? Guess it wasn't for me. Anyway, it's only a 1.2 mile difference between my eye doctor and my foot doctor. So, and I have an extra hour to go before I officially have my appointment. So I've got plenty of chill time. Get out of everybody's way here. It's a little bit of busy street. This is Eastern Avenue. I think it's 45-mile-per-hour street. And my appointment's not for an hour and 4 minutes, so kind of some chill time. Anyhow, I had some big concerns in going to my eye doctor. In August, I actually had a minimally invasive glaucoma surgery on my right eye. And then about 2 months later, I had it on my left eye. Going to this parking area here. And so I had it in my right eye, then I had it in my left eye about 2 months later. And my right eye, in my opinion, seems to have been degraded quite a bit after the surgery. And I was thinking that my glaucoma was advancing and that I would be losing my vision in my right eye. It was to the point that if I closed my left eye, I was not going to be very functional. I was not going to be very functional getting around with just my right eye. And so I was concerned that I was really concerned that that I was going to be losing vision in my right eye completely. And let me back up a little bit. My family has a big hereditary issue with glaucoma. My grandfather went blind from glaucoma, and he had 12 children, and all 12 of his children had glaucoma. So all 12 of them and himself had glaucoma. So it's extremely hereditary in my family. And they've been looking out for glaucoma for me since my 30s. And so it's been highly anticipated that I would be coming down with glaucoma, and I did. And they've been treating me since my mid-30s. And leading up to the point that I was getting eye drops for quite a while, for years. And then to the point that they suggested that I go through the surgery because my eye drops were somewhat limiting the results. And I was getting very irritated with my eyelids because of the eye drops. So with that being the case, they suggested that I do a surgery and get off the eye drops. And the first surgery that he did was on my right eye, and it was looking good for a few weeks, and then it failed. And my blood pressure in my eye went up dramatically. And they had to go in, and I had to start back on drops for a little while, and then they went back in and had to perform the surgery a second time. And that time it took quite well. And there was some little caveats to what occurred the first time around. Apparently they didn't give me, my pharmacist didn't inform me that they didn't fill one of my prescriptions for me that was crucial to be applied immediately after the surgery. And after surgery, I had one set of drops, but I didn't have the second set. And therefore it was a problem. And okay, I'm here at my foot doctor's appointment exactly 1 hour ahead of schedule. So I'm just gonna chill out here and just talk for a little bit. So the surgery failed the first time around, and then they did the second surgery, and it seemed to have taken quite well. And where my pressures were going down dramatically, or stayed down dramatically. And then it got to the point where they went ahead and did the surgery for my left eye, and that came out quite well with no hiccups. I pretty much had the procedure down packed and made sure I had the prescriptions and everything way ahead of time before the surgery occurred. So anyway, that was in August, and then in September and October, thereabouts, is the times that these were going on. But about a month or so ago, I started noticing that my vision in my right eye was diminishing quite a bit. Now, he did tell me that one of the characteristics of the surgery is that I would develop, well, primarily because of the drops that they were putting me on after the surgery. This is a steroid that they said that most likely would he almost guaranteed that I would be getting cataracts, and that I would have to potentially have a cataract surgery shortly after the glaucoma surgery because of the eye drops that was being used to counteract the scarring tissue of from the surgery of the glaucoma. It's complicated. I'm trying to, I shouldn't be getting too involved in the details, but nonetheless, that's just how I am. Anyway, he warned me that I most likely would be required to have a cataract surgery shortly after the glaucoma surgery. He didn't want to do them at the same time because he wanted to make sure that the medication, the effects of the medication that caused the cataracts would be completed before he did the cataract surgery. So now, I just went and checked today, and he says that my diminished vision in my right eye is not due to the glaucoma, but is in fact due to the cataract situation. I'm trying to block out the sun. The sun's behind my back, so it keeps kind of fading in there. But anyway, so he says that my diminished vision is primarily due to my cataract that he had indicated would be coming, and that once we have the cataract surgery, that my vision should be clearing up quite a bit. He still couldn't tell me how long I had before my glaucoma might overcome my vision and start causing the blindness that I've been trying to put off for decades. But he did indicate that once he did the cataract surgery, at the time he does the cataract surgery, that he'll be able to see everything that's going on and give a good diagnostics of what he feels the amount of time I have, whether I have 5 years, 10 years, or the rest of my life to go without the glaucoma taking over and losing my causing me blind or not. So that's my situation. So it's kind of good news, because I thought that I was being overwhelmed by the glaucoma and was going to be permanently blind and getting permanently blind in my right eye, and thought that the left eye might be having the same situation down the road, and I'd lose my vision in a short order. But it looks like that might not be the case after all. So I'm kind of glad for that. And turn that off here. So that's the update on my eye situation. And I'm going to come back a little bit later and give you an update on my situation for my full knee replacement. So a lot of health things going on, and I'm here at my podiatrist, foot doctor, to do some follow-up things for my, I had a fallen arch and ingrown toenails and all kind of stuff like that. So he's been tending to all that. So this is my standard checkup appointment for that. Nothing seems to be out of order from this, and so I'm not really looking for anything traumatic to occur from my podiatrist appointment. But 13 days from now, I'm scheduled to go in for my full knee surgery. So anyway, I'm gonna give you an update after that, after I get out of my foot doctor's appointment, and let you know what's going on and what the anticipated things that'll be occurring leading up to my full knee replacement surgery. Okay, so until then, stay tuned and watch up for the next video. All right, everyone. I just finished up here at my podiatrist, and I am heading out. My third stop for the day. So anyway, oops, I got to turn on my bike, get some pedal assist here. There it goes. All right. So yeah, 2 stops for the day. First stop was my eye doctor, and got the report from him. And this one was my podiatrist, and things are looking good there too. And I guess I'm gonna make one more little errand run to my favorite place, Costco. Yep. And then I'll head on back home, play with the puppies, my 3-year-old puppies, 4-year-old puppies. So anyhow, I was kind of talking earlier. I'll just continue on with my upcoming appointment. 13 days from today, I'm scheduled to get a full knee replacement. So yeah, kind of looking forward to it, which is kind of an oxymoron thing. You know, you're gonna have pain, you're gonna have all kind of things going on, trying to get things in place after the fact. And got a little cautionism on my behalf because of how things that were proposed when I had my neck surgery, the anticipation of it being something quite simple and nonchalant, that turned out to be quite more involved than what was originally disclosed to me. Yeah, so that was supposedly a very trivial, not trivial, nothing surgery is trivial, but it's supposed to have been a typical outpatient process that anticipated a day or so in recovery, and it took me 7 weeks. And never quite recovered 100%. And that kind of leads to why I feel that I'm being pressed for the total knee replacement surgery. Yeah, so earlier I was discussing how I had arthroscopic surgery on both my right and left knees. From a car accident 25 years ago, thereabouts. One of the things that I had been facing knee issues ever since that surgery. And one of the things that I was doing to circumvent it was a lot of exercises and keeping that knee fluid and worked out, and getting those thigh muscles and muscles that were keeping the kneecap in line, keeping them worked out. And that allowed me to really prolong the need of having this knee replacement surgery sooner. And having that neck surgery had me in the hospital, bedridden for a considerable period of time, then wheelchair bound, and then walker bound, and then finally getting to a cane, and then going without the cane, and now I find myself going back to the cane, really dependent on it much of the time. My assessment, not being a doctor, but my assessment is that having that prolonged inactivity from being in the hospital and all that was the culprit behind my knees needing to be get to the point of knee replacement, because I wasn't doing those exercises that was keeping my knee lubricated per se, and the knee became stiff, and I was already at bone on bone, but the exercises allowed the muscle to really kind of keep the knee cap in place in the right associated areas and stuff like that to not cause any pain and to make it very functional. But the lack of those exercises just caused the arthritis that was developed from the surgery to kind of get to the point where my knee, the bone on bone was just not cooperating, to say the least. And I was having some unexpected collapses, very unsteadiness, and stiffness and lack of mobility in my right knee, both my left and right knee, but my right knee was more prevalent. And so I think that by being immobile during the hospital stay caused all that. And I tried to work out those knee issues, but had some significant improvement, but just not to the point of recovery that I would like to see. And so my anticipation is that as well as my doctors that I've referred to, I've had 3 referrals, or 3 opinions rather, on my situation. And they all seem to agree that the knee replacement should improve dramatically my wow, can't get this thing to shift out. Oh well, that's fine. It should improve dramatically how I am with my knee. And I'll be honest with you, my ultimate goal is to get back to doing a lot of the things that I was really actively doing, which was exercising and getting in shape and getting and staying fit. But more importantly, the extracurricular activities that I was doing, such as being an avid bowler. And so I really want to get back into being an avid bowler. I've missed it a lot. It's been over 6 years since I've been in a position to being a competitive bowler. Or actually, since I've actually thrown a bowling ball. It's been over 6 years. It was right before I moved out here to Las Vegas. So those are my goals, is to be able to get into a position to be very active again. And there's a lot of the things I want to get involved with, and just be more mobile and get back to some physical activities. Yeah. So anyhow, it's now 13 days out. I'm hoping to kind of document this whole process that I'm going through. And so this is kind of a preliminary. I know I've talked about it a little bit before in some earlier videos, but just kind of create this journey before, during, and after the surgery of my full knee replacement. And they've made it quite clear that full knee replacement is no joke. It's major surgery. I've been following a lot of guys on YouTube and that have gone through the process of having a full knee replacement and everything. And one of the guys said that this is virtually, they're literally amputating your leg from your knee and putting in a device and then sewing it back up together. And so the only thing is just some skin and some other little things that stay connected, but they pretty much disconnect the lower part of your leg, your lower leg, to do this full knee replacement. So that just the visualization of that in and of itself dictates how extensive this process is. So it's not to be taken lightly. Being very involved in the world of bowling all my life, and kind of being in tune with so many people that have actually gone through the process of having full knee replacements, and hearing their responses. It's been a significant number of associates of mine that have gone through this. Sorry about that. Unexpected sneeze there. It's a little chilly out. It's in the mid-50s right now. The low 50s, actually. Yeah, so hearing the feedback from a lot of people that have actually gone through and had the surgery, all the ones that I've personally talked to, 100% of them are mad at themselves for not having the surgery sooner. And, but, you know, like I said, it's not just a minor surgery. This is pretty serious surgery. And one of the things that I've ran into with one of the one of the YouTubers that actually had complications, or wasn't as academic as he was told as well. And his surgery he had to have a total of 3 procedures because of the complications of his surgery. So it's definitely not 100% or guaranteed that you're gonna fare well all the time. Although they said that his case was very rare. There's that possibility. So I have to be aware of that and make that as something to be known, and try to be prepared for it. You never know what the heck is going to happen. So with that being said, I am cautiously awaiting and anticipating and being very optimistic that this is going to allow me to do the things that I really wanted to do, continue to do, or used to do, and would like to get back into doing. So anyhow, that's kind of the gist of it. And 13 days from now is the moment of reckoning, and kind of keep you guys up to date as I proceed towards this and the progress towards it and everything. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, so that's it for now.